What's up, YouTube and all the race fans out there tuning in? Hey, we appreciate you coming over checking us out. Sitting here in the shop with Michael Freimuth tonight. Michael, thanks for having us, man.
Hey, I'm glad you're here, man. This is pretty cool.
Yeah, you're one of those guys. We've talked about this for a while and needed some time to. You've changed cars and had a clean shop and had to do a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, we started off this year a little bit differently than we've started off. Usually we're well prepared and stuff, but life happens. Had a few minor setbacks. And, wasn't going to be running for points this year at any of the tracks, so it kind of took some of the pressure off of me.
It's a lot different when you're not running for points or running for a championship, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Pressure's off.
Almost more fun.
It's not a job at that point.
Yeah, but you never want it to be. So I've had like 3 years or 4 years in a row, like running for points.
Right.
That's like, and I've led points and lost the lead.
And you won points. I mean, obviously you got some trophies over there. You won some championships.
Yeah, I won a championship at Moeller 2019. 2018, I had Rookie of the Year, and that was the first time that I actually started paying attention to points. Our old friend Bill Turner, he texted me one time and said, "Hey, buddy, now you're leading Rookie of the Year points, over at Moeller. So you're beating me out by 4 points or something like that." And we kind of battled for it the whole year, which I got it.
Right.
He's a super good guy, which he still is. But and then the next year, I'm like, okay, maybe we'll look at these points a little bit.
Yeah, so that's something that might be obtainable.
Yeah.
Right. So you said we watched it. Anybody who was watching and checked out the Facebook stuff, you did some dirt biking stuff before you got into these.
Yeah. My dad always had an old beater dirt bike. I rode around on a gas tank with him when I was little. And,
didn't we all?
Yeah, and so as soon as I was old enough, I got a dirt bike. I think when I was like 6 and a half or something like that.
Right.
And but I was always like a NASCAR fan, like growing up, younger. So I never really watched dirt bike racing and stuff, but that's what Dad did, so that's kind of what I did.
So who's your favorite NASCAR driver? I didn't mean to cut you off, but who's your favorite NASCAR driver? Since you brought it up.
My favorite NASCAR driver right now is, it's hard to pick one driver, but I'm going to say Hendrick Motorsports. I'm going to say all 4 of them drivers.
So when you was a kid, growing up, who was your favorite?
Hendrick Motorsports. Jeff Gordon, Terry Labonte.
Jeff Gordon, oh yeah. Terry when he had the red and yellow Kellogg car.
Yeah, and my whole family was Earnhardt fans. But then I started to realize why they was Earnhardt fans, and I become, once Junior come in the game, I kind of started, cheering for Earnhardt a little bit, but it wasn't a couple years later with Austin. But Chase Elliott's kind of my guy now.
Okay.
And, but
Chase is a wheel man.
What Kyle Larson's doing, just
my boy,
it's awesome.
Yo, money.
Yeah. It's hard to
read
these guys.
Man, it is unreal the talent that guy's got. I mean, it's like no matter what he gets in, he wins.
Yep.
That's just unreal. I don't know that I've ever seen a driver so diverse and can just hop in anything and win with it.
Anytime he wants to drive a Hornet.
You got one? Hey, Kyle, we got a Hornet here. Offered up a ride.
Anytime.
Yeah, that kid can wheel. I've seen the documentary on that guy, and just I love and appreciate everything they do. Their philosophy is like Dad said. Well, hey, we're a good kart budget. That's where we're at. Anything you want to go above and beyond, talent's going to have to take you there. And man, obviously, he's got a lot of talent, so he's to the moon.
I never heard that story. So that's pretty cool.
It's definitely worth checking out. Check out the Kyle Larson story. It's good.
Inspiration.
Yeah. So grew up watching NASCAR like that. So what year did you start into? What year did you get rid of the dirt bike?
Actually, it was 2016. It was 2016 after I went to Lawrenceburg and seen Josh Hammond. I went to high school with. I seen him win. And told me to get one. He kind of guided me through that process and got me going.
Get you under the wing. Yeah. Kind of help you going.
Put me under his wing and I went against what he said a lot and he wound up costing me and okay, definitely.
Sit
He
back
knows
and
what he's
park.
talking about, so I'm going to
Right.
do what he says. So we built the Cavalier and everything, and we made the first race. Made the first race. Never made a show in the first car that I had that I just bought outright, and then we built one and made.
No patience.
I think I've had 4 B mains since then. Yeah, no patience. That's my biggest problem. My dad comes from drag racing.
Okay.
I can't sit there and race, or I can't sit there forever and ever and run down the track 10 seconds and then it's over.
Right. I tried it when I was like in school, high school stuff. I've been to drag races, and that was just not my thing. I like that taking off and that the G's.
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome. But man, I want to throw it to the corner and come back.
Right.
I want to go back and forth a lap. If a guy passes me a lap, I want the next lap to get a chance to pass it. You just don't get that.
Well, this is the reason you ain't seen my dad at the racetrack this year a whole lot is because he actually got back into it. He's got a truck, a Dodge that he's racing for his long time childhood best friend. He's driving it for him, and he's actually doing pretty good. So.
Well, they're not slinging dirt, but where are they going fast at? Where do they go? Where are they drag race at?
They go to Thornhill.
Thornhill.
Dragway, old hillbilly drag strip.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of backstory to that racetrack too, but he's actually running good in this old Dodge, just foot braking in the street class, and all his old buddies are kind of starting to trickle back into it. So I'm happy for him being able to do that. And
that's fun.
Yeah, and on our off weekends, I've been going down there and stuff, and I enjoy it a lot.
I
Because
think
it reminds me of the old days.
I say this. I've never been to Edgewater. Never been there.
Yeah, we only went there a few times.
I've been to Thornhill twice. A buddy of mine I grew up with, his dad had still got it. And he said it was his first car. He's got a '69 Chevelle. Guy's name is Bobby Miller. Kid I went to school with, his name is Bobby Miller the third. And man, he's got this forest green '69 Chevelle, big block and everything. It's a bad piece. And he took it when we were younger. I don't know. We might have just been out of high school. I don't know. We went over and watched him run it. It was cool. Yeah, it just wasn't my thing. It wasn't the roundy round. Yeah. And then a couple years ago, a buddy of mine, he rides a motorcycle. We ride bikes occasionally and stuff together. He's like, "Oh man, we're having a big field party here. You need to come over and check us out." We did. They had a big band going on, and they had a big. He took his full dresser right down there. I'm like, "Yeah, that's just not me. That looks cool and all, but that's not me."
Yeah. I'd always, motorcycle end of it. I've always too afraid to ride one. It ain't my riding that I'm afraid of. It's just other cars. It's hard to watch out.
My dad told me years ago. He said he was always too scared to ride a motorcycle. My dad rode for years. He said he could never ride a motorcycle when he was younger. He said he could never ride unless he was like lit. He had to be like drunk to ride a bike.
Well, the cool thing was like when I started racing dirt bikes when I was like 13, my dad was racing. My dad was racing dirt bikes, and county fairs used to, not Kent County, but like all the other county fairs, they had motocross track in the horse arena. They'd set it up 3 or 4 days, and he was winning. He was racing like the college boy class, which at the time I think was one of the quickest classes.
Right.
And he was beating them boys, and he's 40, and he's outrunning them. He's spanking them. And me and him are, we come from drag racing.
Right.
We did that. That was something we did together, and then we started racing them, and then I was, doing the little motocross races and running a bunch, and so that was so fun. Maybe one day I can get him to turn left.
Well, get us some pictures. Get us some pictures of Dad and his dirt bikes, and you and your dirt bikes. And we'll find a spot to slide it in. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we can get some.
All right, so back to the 4 wheels that we're playing with here. Man, this is a new piece. You sold the car you had last year, right?
Yeah, that was my 2020 and 2021 car.
Okay.
So obviously we got cut short on 2020 because of COVID.
Right.
And did go with that car right out of the way.
And I know we got pictures of that thing. We're definitely slide some of these in.
Yeah, I did go with that one right out of the gate. That was the first one that I kind of, other than, building the engine, building transmission, building the cage, it's a rocket, it was old bent up, used to like to do them. Still would if I had to, because they fit right down in a Cavalier. And all you got to do is adjust the seat bucket a little bit.
Right.
And that car, I was proud of that one because I won the first 2 races out in it at Jackson. And I think that was their first couple races under the new ownership.
I think I was there for the very first one.
Really? Yeah.
I think I was in the tower for that very first one.
You were. I remember talking about that now.
I was, yeah.
I'm like, this guy sounds familiar. It sounds like he's got some sounds.
Man, probably not. Depends on who you ask.
One of those race directors right
here. We'll see. I try. I try. Put it that way.
We did good. We did good that one right out of the gate. And so I was proud of that. I lost my cousin that off season, and it kind of halted the start of that car. It was right beginning of COVID and stuff like that. And it was a big loss for me and my entire family. So to go out there and be able to just do what puts your mind at ease and do good at it,
right,
and a piece that you put together on probably 80% myself.
Right.
It was awesome. I take everything as it comes. I never take anything. I try not to take things for granted. I believe a lot of it's luck. So I wouldn't have any trophies at all if it wasn't for mainly Josh Hammond. He got me started in it, and he probably told me a little bit too much because
come back and bite him a little bit.
maybe a little bit. But I've never drove around him in a feature, which I had 5 chances to do a molar last year. Never made it happen, but no, we've had some really good races. It's just either something happens or I just can't beat them. So
right,
so and all these sponsors that help me out, I've never dreamed that I'd have people wanting to help me try to do the sport
do
that
what
I
you're
love.
doing, right?
Yeah, and it's gratifying when you sit back and think about it.
Yeah. So now Josh has moved on. He's up in the sport mod class now.
Yeah.
And getting his feet wet and learning up there. So I don't know, maybe Josh might be interested in telling us some of his stories and how he got there.
You got to ask him.
Yeah, he'll have to reach out and let me know if he's interested. So we can make it happen.
Yeah, I'm sure. There's a couple cold ones. And
we like them cold.
Yeah.
So what's the rest of the year looking like for? We're cracking. We're about the middle of July now ish kind of thing, and we got some big races coming up. We got KOC coming up in Florence.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
King of Compacts being at Florence. The funny thing is, first time I was ever at Moeller was with that.
The King of Compact race.
It wound up first time ever at Moeller was 2016. I showed up with that first car that I had that couldn't pull itself out of bed, and it was VVT, so I wasn't able to run. But I didn't understand all
right.
that. So
I still don't.
They had the Chevettes out there still, and they said, "Well, you can tag tail of the hot laps or whatever." I'm like, "Okay, I don't care. That's fine. I'll do it. I just want to race. I don't care." So I did that. And, so that was cool. So we watched the game. We sat in the stands and watched it. Kyle Willoughby actually won.
Really?
Yeah, he won that race, and so I knew him from high school as well.
Okay.
And so that was pretty neat. And then we shot at Lawrenceburg and never made a show after that.
Interesting. Yeah, I know. It was last year that was the first year they had KOC at Florence, right?
Yeah.
That was a pretty big deal for them.
The first one that I was competitive in, I believe, was at Route 44.
Oh, okay, yeah. Union, Liberty,
whatever. I know it's had a million names, but I love that little racetrack. That's where I got my first win at.
Really?
Yeah,
first win?
Yeah, I got pictures right over there. My first win over there, and
we need copies of those pictures.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. It's like, Jake Stamper was with me that night. I won my first race. He's like, man, you're acting like you didn't just win your first feature. I'm like, I felt like I should have had it a long time ago, but stuff kept happening. But that was the first King Compacts I ever raced in. I got like 16th or something.
Okay.
And the hype around that race is so huge.
Yeah.
It's so huge, and it's evolved since then. Now you're allowed DVT and stuff like that, which brings the faster guys from down south.
Sure,
And stuff.
it's a whole new element.
It's a whole new element. So it's actually true king of compact. You know,
Right,
before you might have been able to call it King Cavaliers, I guess. But,
right.
but now it's like the actual, true king of compacts. And I had already sold my car before last year at Florence, and at that point I was at ease with it, I believe. But just helping Jacob Todd, and, helping. I spotted for him that race. It was kind of my final send off of that car, and he did good. He ran top 10 and won a top finish in Cavaliers.
Right.
And watching the way some of them guys drive down south and stuff, and like Brandon Gibson Jr. and the Hondas, and they throw it in there.
Throw it. It's like
so. I've learned some from watching from them.
They send it.
They send it.
They send
it definitely. And so it just steps the game up.
Right.
It's more than likely just a matter of time before the rules open up over here.
Have you seen the new version of what the flags mean?
No, I'm not.
You got to see this. We'll post it and put it in here.
Okay.
But it's awesome. So like the green flag doesn't mean go anymore.
No.
It's send it. Send it.
Yeah.
Yellow flag is stop sending it. Checker flag is stop. Or no, I'm sorry. Checker flag is stop sending it. Yellow flag is somebody sent it too hard. So the red flag is like somebody sent it so hard. Now we have to stop the race. Yeah, it's pretty funny. We'll put that in there so everybody can check it. It's good.
That is funny.
So talking about the King of Compacts, Jody's done a lot for this. Jody Shannon with DRC.
Yeah.
Man, those guys. He's brought this thing a long way from where it was.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea? I don't know, and this might be a Jody question, or I'm sure we'll get it mentioned. Do you know where the first KFC was?
I want to say Moeller. I want to say
that seems right.
I'm
not sure.
I want to say that I've had conversations with Jody. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm wanting to say that it was Moeller, and because that's like its home.
Yeah,
thinking.
That's how. Yeah, he had a lot to do with it out there. Yeah. That pays big money.
Yeah, big money. It was that one that Kyle won. It was the first one that I had ever been to. I want to say 6,000, 1,500 or something. Right.
What did it pay?
And then at Atomic it was 7,500, and we're like, whoa,
it's big stuff.
And then Florence is 10 grand.
Yeah. Wow. 10 grand for a compact Hornet race.
Yeah.
And not only are they doing that, I think I heard. Did I hear it's 10 grand for a sport mod race? They got a King of Sport Mods the same weekend. Paid 10 grand for sport mod, B mod, whatever. Different parts of the country, they're just all something different.
Pay attention. There might be a guy trying to pull double duty that night. Go home with 20.
I'm sure maybe a Josh Hammond, if he could, he will. If he can get a ride, I'm sure he will.
I mean, he could.
I seen Kenny Schrader is racing a B mod somewhere coming up. I mean, it's like,
hey, it'd be cool to get some big names out there. Really, especially for that event. It's kind of like, pay tribute a little bit to how far that DRC has brought, just like the grassroots.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was originally the whole point of it, and still is.
Sure.
Same with what you're doing, it's grassroots, local racers and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Just bring attention to them.
Yep.
Help them, promote their stuff and do all the media stuff, which helps them with their sponsors.
That's why I'm here, and that's why I'm doing it. It's not that I got nothing against your Brendan Shepherds and your Bloomquist. Man, I love those guys. And we love seeing those big guys, but you know what? Who's going around and talking to my local guys?
Yeah.
Who's going sitting down with Michael Freimuth or Josh Hammond or Jesse Lays, or our local guys in and around Cincinnati are
a lot of them guys have came and done what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
And they're just driving, they're driving now. Yep. They still love it, but we're just trying to, I'm a big local business guy, so I wish I grew up in the era of all these local businesses and not these chains and stuff like that now. So that's a side passion from it, and support people like Lee's Tires, independently owned shop up the road here. Never knew him at all. And
right,
by and he wanted to get on board with it.
They're not buying airtime. They're not getting big publicity.
Right. The
other thing about talking locally, and like I've talked about, we have Lawrenceburg, Florence. These are 3 racetracks that are within a 40-minute drive or less from downtown Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And man, our population around here is probably 80% or 90% of the people around here have never even heard of these places. It's like, man,
it blows my mind.
You need to check these places out. Get to meet some of these guys that are running these places and get to know them a little bit. And you've got somebody or a car to go root for when you do go check it out.
Yeah, and it's always cool, like when you go to a gas station or something. Like I've literally been on the way home from Moeller, stopped. Like I had this thing back when I used to be able to win a Moeller. If I won, I'd stop at the UDF and get me a malt.
Yeah.
And
one there in Batavia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, whatever the first one is, you come to.
Yeah, it's top of the hill, Batavia, right there by the hospital and all that.
Yeah. And people see the car. Where'd you come from? Where'd you go? Moeller? In your backyard, you don't know. Like
no,
and they wouldn't know about it. I'm like, how do you not know?
Yeah, they have no idea.
But I lived 15 miles from Florence Speedway my whole life, and I knew it was there.
Right.
Just never went. So if they're not brought up around it or whatever.
Right. If you're not cultured into it, people don't necessarily know the Jay Greens that run in Lawrenceburg. You're Matt Hamilton. He's probably got a little bit of following. But I want to just be able to relate to all these guys, Moeller and all these guys. You know what I mean? And not only that, is I want to start getting into, and I've touched on it, and I've got a few lined up. I want to get some of the stories behind some of the guys that are retired. Some of the guys that have gotten us here, and how did they get us here? Where did they start out?
Yeah. I like listening to them type of stories. This is, I don't know, a lot of it's inspiring.
Sure. I've had some conversations, and I'm hoping, and some stuff is, man, we're just, like I said, we're just waiting for the planets to line up and get the scheduling right, with Chuck McWilliams and Billy Teagard and Kenny Kennedy, Calvin Kennedy. Calvin's been a car owner for years and had a lot of success, Man, I get a chance to sit down and get some of these guys' stories, man.
I heard stories, and I don't know if these stories are true. I mean, I would imagine they are, but like Teagard Lane off of Bowman Road, I heard that's where he was from, or his family was from, and that's actually right behind where I used to live.
Right, where you grew up.
Yeah, on Count Road, and it's right over there. From my uncle, I used to mow a yard that was over there next, butted up to their property. Right. But yeah, it'd be cool. It'd be cool to get some stories with them guys. And hear about the old race. Like I heard, beginning of this year, Josh said something to me about there being this old racetrack in Taylor Mill, Kentucky. I'm like,
I've never heard of that.
Hilltop Speed Bowl.
Yeah.
Right down on Stevens Road, and I Eddie Wolf, Brandon Stevens. I asked them about it, and they said, yeah, because they live real close to it over there. And I was like, it's so crazy. So actually, me and my wife, we started heavily investigating this one night, just because history kind of I don't know, excites us. It's so thrilling to find out about stuff like that. And then a racetrack in Taylor Mill. And I actually went over there. I snuck over there like 12 o'clock at night and found it. And it was there, and the banking's still there.
No way.
There's a pond in the middle of it.
No kidding.
I can take you there and show you right now.
That's funny.
Not kidding.
Dude, I'm a huge, I admit it, I'm a huge closet history nerd. I mean, I like all kinds of old stuff. I like old cars. Me and my wife, we went on a historical trip. I'll make this real quick because this is about dirt racing. We went to Savannah, Georgia, and did the historical tour. And man, they had this.
Where my wife lived growing up.
Really? Well, they had this one bar that actually had Civil War drawings and stuff on the wall. They had it all plexiglass off and stuff, so protected. I'm like, man, that is just really cool stuff.
Cool.
Now,
cobblestone on it.
Yeah. So now I get to get into some of the history side of something I'm passionate about, dirt racing.
And there's so much of it.
Yeah, especially in this
area. How many racetracks are there in the country? There's so many that we've never even heard of.
There's a lot.
So many of that.
Yeah. I love the opportunity to get to go and see a new place I've never seen before. Yeah. I've been very fortunate enough getting to work with Lucas Oil a little bit and see some of those tracks that I've never seen or I've heard stories about, but not get to see. Yeah. Man, not only did I get to see them, but I can say, man, I worked at track.
There's part of that one. There's part of that one you can actually see it from the road.
Really? Yeah, I'll have to get those coordinates off off the album.
I mean, I found old flyers from the 60s. Yeah. The place was only open for like 3 or 4 years or something like that.
Huh.
And I can't remember the guy's name that Josh watched the documentary on and told me about, but like they mentioned Billy Teagarden and stuff like that.
Yeah,
they actually mentioned like AJ Fleet racing there.
Really?
Stuff like that.
That's pretty cool.
Ed Keir, he's an old timer from back in the day. And, I've always just chatted with him on Facebook and stuff, and he sent me a bunch of old pictures from that racetrack. And
right.
A picture of Jerry King there and stuff like that. And I'm like, this is actually this is actually a real place.
Yeah, good one.
Pretty sweet.
Well, let's go from the old stuff to what's going on currently. Back to your car.
Yeah.
Man, go over your sponsors, man. This thing has got some people on there. Let's talk about those for a few minutes before we wrap things up.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, without these two right here, I never got started. This is Josh Hamming lives in Jonesville. Full speed shop. Every time you leave his shop, you win. It seems like. Last week it happened with me. Last week me and the 98 was there. Well, it was a 98 turn. And
98 was a rail last week.
And EBJ is Ecotex by Joel is what it stands for. And the image has evolved. Slicker's always worked with them, done a really good job on it. And EBJ performed Ecotex by Joel. And that's just the engine. He built my first one when we built our first Cavalier. And the things are bulletproof. I have been really hard on them. Yeah.
So if you need some power in a Cavalier, he's the guy to see.
Absolutely, in my opinion, 100%. And just look at his car going from tail of D-man tail of feeder to win on a stacked field of Florence. But so Josh and Joel, they've been there since the beginning. Next one would be Lee's Tire. It's probably out of camera shot, but they're right up here in Taylor Mill by Taylor Mill Elementary, and I stopped there. I just started, I need some sponsors. It's like, I just pulled in there. I didn't know him, and just talked to the guy, and he's just like, really cool. And, I'll help you out. So he has helped me out since the very, very, very beginning.
Right.
And new for this year. Oh, and I can't forget SBR Performance. They kind of go hand in hand with Joel Hammond. That's by Joel, and that's the tuning.
Right.
For the computers. And new one this year. I can't really say just new one this year. It's first year of their decal on my car. They've come the last 2 or 3 years. Larry and Susan, they've come to more than 50% of my races at Florence and just come support. And he started his own commercial truck tire business. He started his own commercial truck tire business, and he it's completely different than what Lee's Tire is. There's been some confusion about that. It is not a conflicting sponsor.
Okay.
But he does over the road stuff, like over the road big trucks.
Big trucks,
like bulldozer tires and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
He does. And Carson Freeman, jumped on board with me this year. Awesome guy. Stan and stuff. They've been good friends. Not just on the racing level.
Me and Stan go way back.
Yeah. And so Freeman's Landscaping and Exterior Construction LLC. That is a mouthful, but I'm getting better at saying.
I'm telling you.
And let's see, Karma Electric. You can't see them on the camera, but he's been with us since the start of the year with me. And Slicker Graphics, he's always been the guy that's done my stuff.
Slicker, he's slicker the better. Yeah.
Slicker the better.
You got a crew. You got any guys that roll with you every week, or is this mostly a one man show?
Well, I can't say it's a one man show, but I roll up the racetrack by myself and I leave by myself. But when I get there, I got people there that help me. And some nights I may not, and that's just fine. I'll take.
You're still having fun.
Yeah. My wife says she's taking a break from it this year. She didn't come from any kind of background like this. So 4 years in a row, going strong.
My wife comes to the truck like once or twice a year. This is not her thing.
I mean, this is our deal.
Yeah.
So I don't have no problem with going to the track. I take my kids every once in a while, and raced down Rockcastle Speedway this year. I went down to a race at Rockcastle Speedway this year and took my kids and actually was able to get them in victory lane. That's one of my favorite things about it.
Yeah. My family oriented.
Yeah, my selfish thing about it is, winning and getting to have the kids in the victory lane picture and riding them back to the pits around the track in the car. That is absolutely my favorite thing.
And you got pictures of those, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Cool. We'll make sure we get those from you. We'll blend those in. So, good deal. Well, I'll tell you what, Michael, man, we could probably sit here and talk about this for a few more hours. I know we had a little bit of time when we was working on some technical stuff, getting all that worked out, but we'll go ahead and, you'll have that, So, hey, no big deal. We'll work it out. But we'll go ahead and wrap things up. We'll call this. We're pretty close to Dirty 30.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to tell you again how much I appreciate you coming out and especially giving me a chance to talk about my sponsors and stuff like that, and kind of how I got started in it. I can't take credit for anything all myself, There's so many people that helped me.
Right.
And I try to make that known to those people as much as possible because I don't want to be one of the guys like, I don't want to say I roll up the track by myself, I win, I go home by myself, because it ain't like that. I'm not really by myself.
Right. But it is. It's good for sponsors. So make sure that you tell them to check it out. They'll check it out over here. They'll see it.
For sure.
We'll try to keep this thing rolling as long as we can, and hopefully it just gets bigger and better from there,
Well, I think it's a good thing what y'all are doing. Anybody that's watching this right now, that somebody just sent you a clip of it. Just like and subscribe on YouTube. That's the main thing. Help us all grow. Appreciate you trying to support our sport.
Absolutely. It's definitely a sport. It's something I'm passionate about and love and always have. So anybody that knows me, family, friends, or anything, that's what they know. It's like, DJ and race cars.
Love it, man. That's kind of what I'm trying to instill in my children. You know what I mean? You can teach them a lot of good values at a racetrack.
Yeah.
A lot of good values
life lessons.
Learn there. Yeah, absolutely. Hard work, failure is a big part of it.
Win.
You learn how to deal with failure, and you learn how to deal with perseverance and stuff like that. So I think it's really important. Fan night's coming up this week.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we have enough time left, but fan night is one of my favorite nights of the year.
So everybody watching, you're going to see fan night before this. So this is actually, we're going to try to air this next week.
Hopefully by the time you see this,
you've been to and checked out the fan night. Go to fan appreciation night. That's happening. Like I said, if you're watching, it'll be this past weekend.
Yeah, the next opportunity will be next year. So, but it's a good time. 10, 12 bucks to get in the gate. And
get in the gate, go down, meet the car, you meet the driver, see the cars up close. It's a pretty good.
It is so cool. Yeah, I look forward to it.
Good stuff, man. All right, well, we're going to wrap things up, folks. Thank you again, man. We appreciate you watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure you check us out. Like he said, like, subscribe, go to the YouTube channel, check it out, and tell all your friends, and bring a buddy to the racetrack and check it out and see if it's something you guys like. And if not, can't say you didn't try it at least once. So either way, we'll either see you next week or we'll see you at the track. Thanks.